So one of the questions that I get asked a lot is, what lens should I get next? And this is one of the hardest questions to answer, because what lens you should get next is different from what lens someone else should get next. Even when someone tells me what lenses they have, what they like to shoot, it's really hard to tell them or advise them on what lens to get, because everyone, even though they shoot similar things like portraits or landscapes, they shoot these things in different ways, they see these things differently. And so again, it's really hard to advise people on what lens to get next. So in this video, I'm not really going to tell you guys what lens to get, because again, it's really hard to determine what lens you should get, but I'm going to sort of teach you guys how you can go about choosing your next lens based on what the photos that you've already taken in the past and what you guys want to take in the future. So sometimes you want to get a new lens because you want better image quality or better low light performance in a bigger aperture, or one of those reasons where you're looking for something similar to what you already have, but you want a better version of that. So what you want to do is look at the photos that you've already taken, look at your Lightroom library, look at your favorite photos, maybe your top 20, just your top photos, however many that is, top 100, and look at the EXIF data. So you can do this by just right-clicking any photo and then inspecting the info, or looking at the properties. And unless you've removed the EXIF data through saving or through some other means, you'll usually have the focal length that you shot that lens, that photo with. You'll know what focal length of the lens that you're using you shot that with. And just look at the favorite photos that you have, and you'll usually find a pattern of the favorite types of photos that you like to take. And then you can figure out what focal length you like, and then you can go about then determining on what your next lens should be. For example, when I had the 24-105, one of my favorite focal lengths to shoot in was the 24 millimeter focal length. I was always shooting in the wide end, whether that was for landscapes, whether that was for environmental shots, portraits, street photography. Most of the stuff that I took was in that 24 millimeter focal length. And that's why I picked up a 24 millimeter prime, a 24 millimeter f2.8 prime to shoot with. And that's become, basically my lens that's stuck on my camera all the time. And I determined that through looking at the photos that I've already taken in the past. So that's one situation where you just want a better version of what you're taking now, whether that is a better lens overall. Maybe you want a lighter lens like I did. I went for the prime lens because it's a lighter lens and it does everything that I want it to be. You just want an upgrade to what you already have. Now there's another situation where what you have isn't cutting it in terms of the focal length. So then it gets very simple there. If you have an 18-55, let's say, and you're shooting, and you find that you usually want to take longer shots, you want telephoto shots, then you will want to look into telephoto lenses. And if you want something wider than the 18 millimeter focal length, you might look into something like the 10-18 or 11-18, I'm not sure what it's called, by Canon, or the Tokina 11-16, something like that. But again, you determine that based on what you've already taken and what you want to take. And the reason why I'm giving this advice to you guys is because a lot of the times when people are buying lenses, they look for holes in their lens lineup, which they may not necessarily even use. So some people like buying the Trinity, some people call it the Holy Trinity, which is the 24-70, the 70-200, and then the wide angle, whether that's the 14-24 for Nikon or the 16-35 for Canon. Some people like buying the Trinity of primes, so that's like the 35, 50, and 85, or the 35, 85, and 135, depending on how you view that thing. And people usually do this to sort of collect lenses, to build their lens lineup, their arsenal of lenses. And that's good if you're into lenses and you just want to collect lenses. But if you're using your lenses if you're looking for a lens for a specific purpose, to not complete your lens lineup, but to fulfill like the vision in your head of what you want to take, then you should go about it by looking at the images that you already have and then determining what you want to add into that or what you want to improve from that. And don't necessarily try to build a complete lens lineup based on what other people have or based on what people say is like the professional lens lineup. Do it based on what you want to shoot. And I think yeah, that's the biggest advice I have to give for those of you that are wanting to upgrade lenses or buy new lenses or yeah, just add something to what you already have. Don't do it again based on the idea that you have to complete a lens lineup. Do it based on what you want to achieve through your photography. And yeah, I hope this helps you guys. I do have a gear guide page on my website on camtrench.com for those of you that are interested on what I think are relatively good lenses. That is at camtrench.com/gear. You can go check that out. I'll leave the link down below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video.